Hello everybody, GrayStillPlays, and today I'm here with a new tutorial for you for Rimworld. This particular tutorial was another request that was asked by someone in one of the comments sections, and that was how to make money in Rimworld. What are some of the ways to get money so that you can buy a lot of the various things that in the end of the game, or even in mid-game, cost quite a bit of silver. I want to show you guys a couple different ways that you can make money, and we'll compare and contrast some of the different money-making methods, and then it'll just be a couple of extra tips from me as well. Here we go. Okay, so there's basically two different ways to make money in Rimworld. There's the nice way and the not so nice way. The nice way involves taking a character that has a high level of skill in something and getting that skill to its maximum level so that you can make items of a very high quality. Now, I'm going to show something on the screen to you guys here, and I want you to take a look at it. What these two items are is on the left, you're going to notice the possibility in percentages that you will make items of a certain quality level, given the skill level of your character. You can see that as your character gets better in their skill level, going all the way up to godlike, they have the potential to make a jackpot item, which is essentially a legendary item. And then on the right, you're going to see a list of how the quality of the items that you make affects the buying price. And if you look, you're going to notice that in the beginning, obviously, if you make below normal average quality of item, the price goes down. But as you make better than normal, it begins to go up. And then once you reach the masterwork and legendary categories, it grows exponentially. So we're going to make use of that as well. Now, you're in luck when it comes to making items in order to get money, because the main skill in making items to get money is going to be the crafting skill. This is going to be utilized for almost any type of item that you would be selling to make the best amount of profit from. Mostly weapons. Now, the other item that you're going to be utilizing, or I should say skill that you're going to be utilizing to make money, is the art skill. Both of these skills can be utilized to make very, very good amounts of money. You can see here, though, that this particular colonist has an 18 in crafting and only a 5 in artistic ability. So obviously, it would be much better for me to try the crafting instead of the art, because I'm going to have a much higher possibility of hitting those jackpot masterwork or legendary items, which will sell for a huge amount of money. Now, even when you're making items, there are certain items that just flat out sell better than others. Let's look at those real quick, and then we're going to look at what you can do if you don't have any of these skills in order to make money in the beginning. Let's say you don't have any crafting, and you don't have any artistic skills, and you don't have any passions in either of these. What can you do? I'll show you that in just a moment. For right now, let's take a look at exactly the differences in a bunch of the crafted items, and just to show you that all crafted items are not created equal. So I'm over here at this combat supplier, and I've happened to make a bunch of golden weapons that happen to turn out with the exact same quality level, and that's really good because that's going to give us an excellent baseline of what the value is per material of this being made. So no matter what material you make, if we change this to silver, the differences, the percentage of differences in the material to the profit margin will be exactly the same. So in this instance, if the Gladius gives us the best profit margin, it will always give us the best profit margin, whether we make it out of wood, or whether we make it out of steel, or whether we make it out of gold. So let's take a look at those right now. We're going to start off with the golden longsword normal level. The golden longsword at the normal level takes 120 materials. Now, you have to remember as well that when it comes to gold or silver or any item that is considered a small material, it takes times 20 the amount of materials, but we're just going to utilize the normal 120 material cost that it would normally be for a longsword if we were making it out of, say, wood or steel. Just because, again, it's going to be exactly the same because we're utilizing the same items here. We're utilizing the same type. It's all going to be golden. So for the golden longsword, we're looking at a value of $5,018, and it costs 120 of the materials, times 20 for gold. That gives us a value of 41.82 per material. So 41.82. Now let's move over to the golden spear, also at normal quality. The golden spear takes 90 materials, times 20 for gold, and gives us a total value when sold of 45.64. Now, that is going to give us a value of 50.7111 repeating of value per material. So a little bit better than the longsword, which was 41.82. But now the winner out of all of this, something that I kind of messed around with a lot until I found it, which is very interesting, is the Gladius. The Gladius, Golden Gladius, normal level, gives us a value of 3,015. Now that is less than these other two, but the difference is that the Gladius only takes 50 material units to be made, compared to 90 for the spear or 120 from the longsword, and that gives the Gladius a winning 60.3 value per material cost in this instance. So long story short, what that means is if you want to make money easily through weaponry, you're going to want to make it through Gladiuses, because the Gladiuses are going to give your smith the best amount of return for the material cost for the item being made. Now, the second thing I wanted to go into was sculptures. We talked about the art skill and how it can make you money. For the most part, sculptures are very, very simple, much simpler than weapons, for instance. Basically, the way it works is that sculptures will get you a decent price no matter what you make. The only thing that you have to consider is that making sculptures out of something like wood or steel will make the sculpture itself much faster than making it out of a stone, like a granite or a slate. Now, of course, making a sculpture out of a gold or a silver will get you a high amount of money, but from what I've seen, it's a little bit difficult to try and get the best sculpture you can out of those items and get your value back, especially since gold and silver isn't really that renewable, not like wood or steel or granite or slate or limestone or any one of those. And just so you know, you can get pretty darn good prices with really not very valuable stones. If we look over here, we've got some slate grand sculptures in the legendary status, so that is the jackpot, that is the highest level you can get, and then grand sculpture is also the highest level of sculpture that you can make, the largest one, them going from small to large to grand. This will get you 4,000 right here from this trader, and that is not that bad. Over here we have a silver grand sculpture, which is a masterwork level, which will get you 4,930. And then remember from the previous chart that I had shown you that going from masterwork to legendary is going to double the profit margin. So masterwork gives you a ×3 to your normal base value, and then legendary goes to ×6 to your base value. So if this happened to be a legendary grand sculpture, this would be 4,930 times 2. So that comes out to what? 9,860? Is that right? I think that's right. So I had talked about not having the crafting skill and not having the art skill. How would you go and make money then? What is an easy way to make money? And one of the easiest ways to make money in that instance is going to be right here by selling meals. Interestingly, meals add a lot of value to the foodstuffs that you can grow and harvest. Like a lot of value, to the point where there is no reason not to cook up meals quickly and then sell them. And you can see here, simple meals take a total amount of 10 food pieces in order to make a simple meal, and fine meals also take 10 food pieces to make a fine meal. But you're getting about an extra $1.40 almost by making this fine meal compared to this simple meal. The only difference is that, remember, to make the fine meal, you're going to need 5 vegetarian style foods and 5 meat style foods. In order to make it simple, you can have 10 of anything you want. You can have 10 of just vegetable or 10 of just meat. Now, the lavish meals, you're going to notice you'll get a little bit of better price here. You're going to get about an extra 30% or so. It's not quite 30% of the price by selling lavish meals, but you're not really getting your money's worth. And the reason why is because lavish meals take 10 of each type of food type. So that's going to take 10 meats and 10 vegetarian style foods for a total of 20 food in order to get this price. So you're way better off selling the fine meals if you can make them. If all you're growing is a ton of rice, for instance, Selling simple meals will get you a lot of money, especially if, we'll go over here real quick, you put your electric stove right inside of your area that you are storing everything. You can make a lot of meals very, very quickly. And when you're selling them at almost 10 bucks a shot, you can make hundreds of space dollars or whatever you want to call the currency in a very short amount of time. So we've gone over the ways that you can make money if you have a skill, if you're lucky enough to get a colonist that has a high level of skill, how you can make money if you don't really have a high level of skill in arts or crafts, but maybe you're a decent cook or you're learning how to cook very well, or you just have a lot of food and the food issue is not a problem at all for you. But now we talked about the nice ways to make money in Rimworld. What about the not so nice ways? I can tell you right now, the not so nice ways will make you a lot more money than the nice ways. And that is by dealing with prisoners. Interestingly, in Rimworld, a prisoner is worth vastly more. The sum of his parts is not as much as his parts by themselves. That's a terrible way to put that. Basically, ripping a guy's organs out will net you a lot more money than just selling him off as a slave. Now, you're going to take mood penalties for this, but if you want to have stacks of cash, it's what you got to do. We'll go back over here and we'll talk to this guy one more time just to show you exactly what the value of these items are. Now, one of the best ways to extract the most amount of organs without killing the guy, well, you are eventually going to kill him, but you're going to get a lot of organs out. And this is in vanilla, mind you. Now, I'm using mods here, but I'm going to explain this as if though you were using vanilla. So the best practice for making the most amount of money off of a prisoner, if you're going to start extracting organs, is to extract one kidney, one lung, and then the heart. If you extract 2 kidneys, you'll kill him. If you extract 2 lungs, you'll kill him. If you extract the heart, you'll kill them. So you have to do this in order. It doesn't matter what order you do the kidney or the lung in, but make sure that you look at the health of your prisoner and make sure that they have 2 kidneys to be extracted and that they have 2 lungs. Because if there's only one left because you shot the other one, then they are going to die. But notice, if you get a kidney, a lung, and a heart, we're dealing with, look at how much money this is. Let's go ahead and sell this real quick and find out. You're dealing with 1,744 silver in this instance, and that is a lot of money for a colonist, for a prisoner. That would normally go for right around 600 to 700 silver if you sold him as a slave. So that's a really good instance of making a lot of money off of organs. Now, there's a little bit more that you can do with a person after you harvest their organs. And that last thing that you can do, as horrible as this is butchering them and taking their leather. Yes, human leather. Human leather is worth vastly more money than any other type of regular leather. Now, again, you're going to notice that I have a mod here, so you're going to see like Cthulhu leather. Now, that doesn't exist, so we're just going to use regular leather here. So we'll take a look, for instance, at this tortoise leather. That is a normal leather type. Normal level gives you $58.70. Now, if we go down here to the human leather duster, which is also at normal, look at this. It gives you $145 or 145 silver, however you want to mention that. That is almost a 3 times value increase by utilizing the human leather instead of a regular style of leather. Now that we talked about a couple of ways to make money in Rimworld, I just want to tell you guys some of the things that I have found, which I thought were really interesting. I had heard that having a cowboy hat gives you a plus 15% in your social interactions. I found that that has absolutely no change in the values of things that I had sold at all. Whether it was from orbital trade stations or from being face-to-face, wearing a hat had nothing to do with it. Wearing a cowboy hat did not increase my prices or decrease my buying prices at all. The second thing I found was that something that would increase a person's opinion toward you, such as being beautiful, also did not increase the selling prices or decrease the buying prices. The last thing I found was that the social skill actually does a little bit less than I was hoping. It does make a difference It's just a matter of how tangible you feel that difference is. Basically, the social skill gives you a 0.5% of difference per point of social skill. So that means that if you have a 20 in your social skill compared to a person that has a 0 in their social skill, you will get a 10% difference in the buying and selling of the items that you buy and sell. Now, I don't know how you guys feel about that. I kind of almost wish that it was maybe like a full percent per point in social, because to me, it's kind of like social is a big pain in the ass skill, and it doesn't really value it enough for having it very high. But in case you wanted to know, that is the way that you increase the values of what you can sell and buy things for, is just dealing with the social skill. So there you go, folks. I hope that that helps a little bit in how to make some money in Rimworld. The long and short of it is, if you want to make money with weapons, one of the easiest ways is to make gladiuses, because that enables you to get the most amount of gladiuses done as you work up your skill and get that jackpot gladius, that masterwork or legendary gladius. If you're making sculptures, any sculpture is going to net you a nice value, but of course, steel and wooden sculptures are just made that much faster, which again enables you to potentially hit that jackpot sculpture and get the most amount of money for your time and effort. And if you're not going to do either of those, then selling meals is an excellent way to get money, just having a big surplus of food. And if you're going to try and get food as fast as possible, rice, of course, grows the fastest given the soil composition, meaning if you have rich soil, rice will grow the fastest. If you have terrible soil, rice will grow the slowest, sadly. And if you have hydroponics, rice will grow incredibly fast, and you can make a lot of meals with it very quickly. And then if you're just going to be an evil bastard, taking prisoners and slowly breaking them down for parts by grabbing one lung, one kidney, and then the heart will grab you the highest amount of value for their organs, and then butchering them to utilize their human leather to make clothing will grab you the highest level of money for the clothing piece made. And just in case you guys wanted to know, the highest value that I could find of clothing piece that you can make is dusters. That is the duster type of item that will get you the highest level per material of value that you can get when you make it. If you guys have any particular methods that you use, or any little things that you have found that makes a lot of money, maybe you found an item in the game that makes a lot of money that a lot of people haven't thought about, feel free to leave that in the comments section below. Until the next time, guys, stay foxy and much love.